In this problem, we need to find a counterexample to show that the statement is false. So our statement is, for all x in the set of real numbers, x is greater than 1 over x. So in order to show that this statement is false, I need to find some real number that I can substitute for x that will give me a false statement for x is greater than 1 over x. Now I can try plugging in a number, let's say x is equal to 2. Then this would give us, 2 is greater than 1 over 2, which is a true statement. So that's not a good counterexample. It gives me something that's true. So there's a couple of ways I can go about finding a counterexample. One way is to think about, well, in what cases is 1 over x greater than the value of x itself, or even when is that equal to the value of x, because this says strictly greater than. So what if I say x equals 1 over x, and how can I solve this equation? This gives me x squared equals 1, and this will be true for x equals 1 or x equals negative 1. So either of those would be a good counterexample, because in both cases x and 1 over x would be equal to each other, so that would make the statement false. So I've got some counterexamples. Let's keep track of them here. Counterexamples. Negative 1, positive 1. Another value I could try just plugging in for x would be 0. And I get, if x equals 0, then we have 0 is greater than 1 over 0, which is undefined, so that doesn't work. And this says the set of all real numbers, so we can't say, oh, well, you're not supposed to plug in 0, because then they need to specify, oh, we don't mean all real numbers, we mean all the real numbers except for 0. So 0 is another counterexample. And another value that would work is really anything that is between 0 and 1. So if I plugged in, let's see, let's make some room here. Let's let x equal 1/2. Then we have 1/2 is greater than 1 over 1/2. All right, and 1 over 1/2, that's the reciprocal of 1/2. So now we have the statement 1/2 is greater than 2, which is obviously false. So here's another counterexample. I'll add it to my little list that I've got going down here. So I've got 4 counterexamples. They only want you to find one. So it's only necessary to find one, but very often there's more than one. Now, it is possible that there is only one counterexample, so it just depends on the situation. But in this case, we have many different values you could plug in that would make the statement false. And there's some that would make the statement true. So this is not always a false statement. It's not always a true statement. It's just sometimes true and sometimes false.